Hello, my dear students. I am Mahadev Swamiyar, Assistant Professor of English, GFGC Kabbahalli. In this session, we shall discuss Introduction to Shakespeare's biography and his contributions as a background to study The Tempest, written by William Shakespeare. Before studying any particular text, we need to know the social, cultural, and other preoccupations of the age in which that particular text is written. Otherwise, we may not perceive the intended meaning of the writer. So, let's learn something about Shakespeare's life and his writings and Elizabethan Theater as well. Elizabethan Theater. Elizabethan Theater is a general term covering the plays written and performed publicly in England during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, that is from 1558 to 1603. The term Elizabethan is used to refer to the late 16th and early 17th century, even after the death of Queen Elizabeth. We can call it was an age of social contentment, and the rapid increase of manufacturing in towns gave employment, and it was the time of intellectual liberty. And this period as a whole ranks as one of the greatest in the annals of world's literature, because during this era, not only in drama but in all genres of literature, writers wrote many great classics like Edmund Spenser's The Fairy Queen, Christopher Marlowe's Dr. Faustus, Ben Jonson's Old Penny, The Alchemist, Every Man in His Humor, and essays of Francis Bacon. So these are the greatest productions of this era. So because of that reason, we call Elizabethan era as one of the greatest in the annals of the world's literature. To express complete human nature, Elizabethan age turned to the drama and brought it rapidly to the highest stage of development. So to express human thought, feelings and actions, so the Elizabethan writers consider drama is the best mode to reach people. So because of that reason, Elizabethan writers, most of the writers choose drama as their genre for literature. And during Elizabethan theatre, Shakespeare's work is claimed as the most distinctive product of Elizabethan. Among the greatest dramatists of the Elizabethan era, Shakespeare considered as the best because he has written greatest tragedies, and he brought the characters from all strata of the society. So next, the Renaissance and Elizabethan age. So we can see the Renaissance greatly influenced the Elizabethan writers. So Renaissance originated in Italy in the late 14th century and spread across Europe by 15th and 16th century. So it was originally it was started in Italy, okay, in late 14th centuries, and then spread all over the Europe. And the word Renaissance literally meaning rebirth, that is referring to the revival of classical learning or humanism. So if you want to know the meaning of the Renaissance, so it revived the pre-Christian thoughts and literature, that means the Greco-Roman literature, okay, and Renaissance ended the medieval world and made a new start, or we can say that Renaissance is the beginning of the modern age. And during medieval writing, so that is nothing but an illustration of biblical events and the lives of saints. It was completely religion oriented, and Christianity dominated all walks of life. But Renaissance is man-centered, and all philosophies, arts, and literature, everything based on human being as a central power in the universe. That's called humanism. So Elizabethan playwrights were greatly influenced by Renaissance. So they start bringing the spirit of Renaissance in their writing. Renaissance humanism upheld the dignity and central position of human being in the universe. So whichever the place you take, in those places, the playwrights discussed the feelings, emotions of human being. Okay, so those were the plays which represent the life as it is. Okay, there was, you can see human weakness, human strength, and all that. And more importantly, Elizabethan writers brought their characters from all sections of society. Okay, and then the poetry and drama reached the new heights of excellence during Elizabeth I, who encouraged art and learning. We all know that when the that is social condition is good, so automatically we can see the creative spirit among the people. So Elizabethan drama is the climatic expression of the spirit of Renaissance. As I told you earlier, this age is considered as the most productive of all. Among plays, tragedies of Shakespeare are the culmination of Renaissance literature. So this is what we can see the influence of Renaissance on Elizabethan age. Theaters. So theaters are very important during Elizabethan age because so it's an age of dramas or plays. So those days, initially, plays were performed on wagons or wheel stages in front of the churches. And sometimes fixed stages were also used. But whatever the stage, the essential element was cosmic universality. And after these wagons and wheel stages, in ads became famous. That is, performances were held in private inns. So many plays were performed in the halls of great houses, then began to be staged for a wider viewing audience. That is, in those times, the audience included the lowest classes who sat on the ground around the stage and were called groundlings, while the upper class members sat in the galleries. And next, the upgraded theater is playhouses. The first playhouse was built by James Babbage in 1576 and it was named the theater. So this particular theater to which William Shakespeare joined when he came to London to pursue his career in theatre. And in these theaters, stage properties were not of crucial importance, but large sum of money would be spent on costumes. And during those days, there were no women players, and female roles were virtually played by young male actors. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ಆ ಥಿಯೇಟರ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಬಂದಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದು ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ಆವಾಗ ಈ ಒಂದು ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ಪಾತ್ರವನ್ನ ಯುವ ಪಾತ್ರಗಾರರೇ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯುವಕರೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಾಣಬಹುದು. And the other famous theaters were the Curtain, the Rose, Blackfriars, the Swan, and the Globe. So these are the other very famous theaters of those time. So among these, the Globe is very important one because uh, William Shakespeare is associated with this theater, that is the Globe. Yes, the Globe. The Globe Theatre was built in 1599. It was built using timber. Okay, so uh, and it was based on the Colosseum, but on a smaller scale. So the base or the model for this theater was Colosseum, so which was in Rome. Unfortunately, the Globe Theatre was destroyed by fire on 29 June 1613. But during those times, since people were very much interested in watching plays, the very next year, that is in 1614, the second Globe Theatre was built on the same site. So this itself shows how the people were very much interested in watching plays. So this is all about uh, uh, Elizabethan age and Renaissance and theaters. So this is the image of Globe Theatre those days. It's a semicircle in shape. William Shakespeare, a renowned English poet, playwright, and he was a prolific writer during the Elizabethan age, and his plays are perhaps his most enduring legacy. He was born on 23rd April 1564 at Stratford-on-Avon. He is from rural side. His father, John Shakespeare, was a farmer, and his mother, Mary Auden, was the daughter of a prosperous farmer. He went to local grammar school and studied Latin and arithmetic. Unlike university weights, he did not become graduate those days. He just attended the local grammar school. But his education was at the hands of nature, which come from keeping his heart as well as his eyes wide open to the beauty of the world. So this is the best education he got from the nature and surrounding, observing life. In his 19th year, he married Anna Hathaway, a woman 8 years his senior, and he had three children, Susanna and the twins, Judith and Hamnet. He moved to London to pursue his career in theatre and became first an actor, then a playwright. So around 1587, he went to London and joined Burbage's company of players. Later, he took up writing. So that is the one of the important decisions in his life. That is, he moved to London, and because of that act, his talent came to the world. After he spent some time in England, very soon he became the shareholder in two of the leading theatres of the time, that is one, the Globe and the Blackfriars. So with acting, he started writing plays too. So that make him become the greatest playwright. So next, contributions of Shakespeare. He has written 37 plays and 154 sonnets and some other poems. So his non-dramatic poetry consists of two narrative poems. They are Venus and Adonis and Lucrece, and a sequence of 154 sonnets. Among these, the first 126 sonnets were addressed to a man, and others referred to a woman who is called a dark lady. In these sonnets, he discussed various themes like love, friendship, and time. And apart from his non-dramatic work, his plays are very important. The canon of Shakespeare's dramatic work comprises 37 plays, and his writing for the stage extended over some 24 years. He started working on plays from 1588 and continued till 1612. And during this time, he dominated the Elizabethan stage and reached the pinnacle in expressing the Renaissance spirit And we can divide his 37 plays into three groups. First one, comedies. So these usually ended in marriage. Some of his best comedies are Midsummer Night's Dream, Merry Wives of Windsor. And among comedies, there are some plays which are considered as romances. So romances means the writer takes greater liberty in depicting characters, events that generally do not take place in real life, and they can make impossible possible and unfamiliar familiar. Example, in Tempest, we can see magical power and spirit servant Ariel. So these are the things which do not happen in common life. So his best romances are The Tempest and Winter's Tale. The second one is historical plays. So these are based on the lives of people and events that transpired. So his historical plays were Henry V, Richard III, and etc. So among all his plays, tragedies are very important. So tragedies are the plays with tragic heroes who undergone a series of unfortunate events which usually leads to the death of a lead character. So some of his best tragedies are Hamlet, Macbeth, Othello, King Lear, Julius Caesar, etc. So among these tragedies, Hamlet, Macbeth, Othello, and King Lear are considered as the best among all. So his tragedies are considered as the culmination of the Renaissance literature. So these are the contributions of Shakespeare to English literature. Next, we shall discuss some contemporary playwrights of William Shakespeare. Among his contemporaries, university wits are very important. These are some playwrights who come just before Shakespeare. Actually, they prepared the way for him by ensuring the triumph of the free and flexible form of drama, which he was afterwards to make his own. And this group constitute a and they known by the name the university wits. So they were all men of academic training. Some important university wits were John Lilly, George Peele, Robert Greene, Thomas Lodge, Christopher Marlowe, and Thomas Kidd. We can say that each of them contributed to the evolution of the drama into the forms. Two among them, Lilly and Marlowe, had a special significance in literary history because they had the direct influence on Shakespeare. So apart from university wits, Ben Jonson, the friend of Shakespeare, was a remarkable writer. He has written The Old Every Man is Humor, and all other plays. And there are some second rank contemporaries were also there. They are John Webster, Francis Beaumont, and John Fletcher. So these are the contemporaries who come next to the great writers of this time. So now it's time to recapitulate what we learned in this session. In this session, we discussed Elizabethan age, particularly Elizabethan theater, and this age is considered as the golden age of English drama. And these Elizabethan people, that is, writers, were greatly influenced by Renaissance. And Globe Theatre is one of the popular theatres of the time. And William Shakespeare is one of the greatest writers of all time. And all his plays are still performing all over the world and they are still relevant today. So these are the important things about the background to the play The Tempest. So in the next class, we shall discuss the play Tempest. Thank you all.